have him send them to you and you bring them over?
Yeah, either that or I'll call them up and square it away with them, you know.
Okay, and have them sent to you.
Yeah, okay.
And you can bring them over, or I can come down there.
Okay.
How is the puppy?
Still pretty good, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's all right, yeah.
Okay, well, things are better. You don't have to go back until March when?
I think it's the end of March.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's darn good.
Yeah.
Get some peace.
Unless they throw me in jail in the meantime, you know.
Oh, well, they'll try.
But we're just trying to pick everything apart with a fine-tooth comb, you know.
Good. I wish Peggy would call me back. What does she want? She wants to know how to get onto public access?
Yes.
Well, that's easy. That's easy. Do you know you know plenty of people in Memphis, don't you?
Well, I don't know plenty, but I know a couple, yeah.
Well, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
If they even require that.
Yes, right. I don't know if they do or not.
So I think she should call up the public access operation there and say, and use the local address of somebody that you know. You have to have a local contact, maybe, maybe not.
Okay, because I sent her the forms and stuff, you know.
Oh, good.
But she just didn't know how to go about it, so she wanted to talk to you, you know.
Sure, I'd be glad to tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be glad. Oh, I know. I think I sent your story out to...
So you got a lot of these stations, huh?
Yeah, I have on about 23.
23 stations. Wow.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't have Memphis.
Well, we should have it.
Yeah, you should, right?
We should get it.
Yeah.
And,
do you have any way yourself of putting it on or no?
what's that mean?
I mean, getting it like you did these other 23.
Oh, for me to contact Memphis Station and put it on?
Yeah, instead of Peggy. Peggy just doesn't seem to get nothing done, you know.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like she doesn't call me back.
Well, she's been doing this now for a month and a half, you know. We got nowhere, you know. She was so busy, I guess, or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, okay, then why don't you get the telephone numbers for me?
For Cablevision?
Well, yes, whatever it is. I don't think it's Cablevision.
Yeah,
I
it
think...
is Cablevision. Yeah, it's the same one, Cablevision.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, I know it is, because I subscribe to it down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you are a subscriber?
Yeah.
Well, then that's the local address that we need.
Well, of course, I'm a subscriber right over the line in Mississippi, so I don't know if that'll count.
What is it? No, I don't think it will. You have to have the Memphis system. We got to get somebody with a local address. Okay, call up and get... You want the Memphis system, right?
Yeah.
Okay, get the address and get the telephone number.
Okay.
And the name of it.
Okay.
And tell me what it is. Leave it on my recorder.
Okay.
And then I can call them up and see what their deal is. And leave me a local address. You don't have a local address, do you?
What do you mean, local?
For Memphis. Do you have a relative there or anything?
No. No.
Because if I have a local address and then I just send it in from there and they have to cablecast it.
Yeah. Gee. You don't have anybody, huh?
Not me.
No.
But I would think you would.
Well, I'll try to think of somebody. I don't know who, you know.
I would think you would have somebody in Memphis.
Well, I'm never in Memphis, you know.
I see you're in Mississippi.
Yeah, and that's, quite a ways down.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're probably about 40, 45 minutes.
All right. Maybe you'll think of somebody.
Okay, I'll try.
All right.
Okay, and I'll get those tapes over to you that they've got set up, you know, because they've been playing them on, they're good tapes on good cases, in other words, you know.
Well, good. You mean we play them for the public and show them how crooked judges are?
That's right. That's what they all are, yeah.
Sure, I would like to get those on.
Yeah, besides that one in White Plains would be nice. That's right up your alley.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any crooked judge is up my alley, let me tell you.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you, just about all seem to be. I haven't run into any honest ones yet.
Oh, well, no. You want to know something? If there was an honest one, they would get rid of him so fast he would see stars.
Yeah, that's probably it, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't tolerate an honest judge.
Yeah.
Is it snowing down there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we could just started up here. We're supposed to have 2 to 3 inches.
Yeah, it just started here, too, yeah.
Well, that's good. I'll get those tapes, and I'll try to have them played around.
Yes, right.
Because in addition to my show, I always ask the cable companies to give me specials.
Uh-huh.
And I play several editions.
Oh, good.
And I would sponsor these.
Well, they've got dozens and dozens of them, as many as you want. You know, you can listen to them and edit them or whatever you want to do, you know.
No, I'm he can't be alone.
Yes, I know.
And particularly if anything happens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So you can, I think it's better, and rather than me to have a key down there, I think it's better for him to be with me all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And see if I can't bring him around.
Okay. Let me see if I got the... Oh, there. So let me have it again. Let me have your address again.
Sure. Box 416.
416.
Yes, it's called Glendora, A Chat with Glendora. Glendora, A Chat with Glendora. Box 416.
Okay.
White Plains, New York.
Yeah.
10602.
Okay. Good. I'll get those out tonight.
Oh, good. You got my number, 914?
Phone number?
Yeah, 914.
Okay, I'll write that again. Okay.
949.
Yeah.
9495.
Okay, real good.
You see, what that number is saying is that it's White Plains 9,
Yeah.
White Plains 95.
Okay.
WH. Okay.
Okay, real good. Then I'll get all those 372s out to you tonight.
Okay. Did I tell you about the man who was standing before the judge and the judge says, what do you got, Colonel, before your name? Did I tell you that joke?
I don't think so.
Okay, the judge says, why do you have Colonel in front of your name? You remember Colonel Tom Parker, who was...
Yes.
Okay, so it was one of these. He says, why do you have Colonel in front of your name? And the man didn't want to answer. Then the judge asked him again, and the man kept from answering. And the judge asked him again, and finally the man says, well, the Colonel in front of my name is like the Honorable in front of your name. It doesn't mean anything.
That's good. Yeah, that's good, yeah. I'll have to tell that to a few people, yeah.
Okay, well, tell Peggy I'm ready, willing, and able
Okay, I sure
to
will.
help her
Okay, I will.
when she calls.
Okay.
Okay, Bill.
Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Gene Crescenzi, it's Glendora. I'm wondering if you're back from Italy, and do you have an essay that you would like to put on television? Thank you. 914-949-9495.
Yeah, Glenny.
No, Glenny. Me.
Oh, Glenny.
Yeah, Glenny, me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Glenny.
I'll be by tomorrow and pick it up.
Okay, Thomas. Thomas, you don't have to pick it up. You might be able to make the ripcord come out. But also, the second of those cartridges, it didn't last long enough. It started streaking white after like 500 copies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you labeled it. I want to bring it back to him and get credit for it.
Oh, okay.
Let me look at
Okay.
let me look at it when I get there and test it.
Okay, so you see I'm down to my last cartridge and it's in the machine.
Oh.
Mm.
All right, then I better do it tomorrow morning. All right.
Yeah, how's your mommy?
She's in a nursing home and she is not getting better quick enough for me. She seems to be in limbo nutritionally where she doesn't progress beyond a very low level, so she's asleep most of the time. She's lethargic, and as long as she's that way, she can't exercise and rehabilitate. But, with all her problems, one of the things is that she doesn't absorb nutrition properly, and it's just a very slow process. It's a waiting game. I just have to wait and wait and wait.
Poor baby. Poor baby.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
I feel so sorry for her.
Glenny, I have a person on the other phone, so can I give you and talk to you tomorrow morning?
Yes. You're coming tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The snow's not going to stop you?
No, I'm four-wheel drive. In fact, you call me in the morning just to make sure.
Oh, no, Thomas.
I would prefer it because I have trouble reaching you. And if there's any change of plans, I want you to at least contact me in the morning, all right?
All right, you can call me at 949-9495, Thomas.
Yeah, I try that number, and I always get answer machines.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
You.
So I listen to your answering machine. Okay, Thomas.
Okay, then. I'll call you in the morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. This is Glendora. I think your editorials are very good.
Listen, I got some big news for you.
Well, hey, respond to my question, you idiot.
The editorials are pretty good?
Yes.
Good.
Good. I like them.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on a bigger one. I just got papers today from the New York State
19 hours, and there's only 24 in a day. We left for Lynbrook at 7:30. We got there at 8:30 after stopping to see Aaron, and Aaron made Franklin a vegetarian bacon roll. And then Rob had a sore back, and I babied him all morning long, and the editing went perfectly. It always does at Lynbrook. It's really amazing. And I edited 15 programs, 15 half hours. Amy Van Horn got back from vacation. She had 9 programs, A Chat with Glendora, on her desk that were edited on February 20th. I don't know how she did it, but she got 4 of them on the cable TV Tuesday, February 27th, the morning she got back from her vacation. John Sheridan didn't come in. He didn't feel well. And at 5 p.m. Archie Stone came in. I think he's very good in his program, Sports Profiles. And then I showed Archie how to make VHS dubs, how to put the VHS in the play rack, and how he can make 4 dubs simultaneously on the dub rack. Patrick Galino had a class of aspiring public access producers, and he teaches them how to use the audio board, how to be talent, how to be a director, how to do the audio. And he's very good at teaching. He never gets tired of it. And I showed them my certificate to encourage them how they could become public access producers. One man talked about his birds. He has 13 birds. He talked about them. That was interesting. We had microwave popcorn. Archie came. He went out of the editing room, and then he came in again, and he says, "Somebody's having a party." I says, "Where?" He says, "In the room where the TV is." I says, "That's our lunch." We really pack a wonderful lunch. We have good food all day long. Now Franklin went to Bethpage on the 87th demand, and Dolan violated the law again. We have a statutory right to see the books, records, and minutes, and Dolan just violated that law again. Now, what do you think of that, Katie? There's a whole lot of pictures I should have taken. I didn't have time. I was under pressure to get so many things done. So all that I'm telling you should have been told you with video. This morning, up at 6:30, did some of the chores and worked an hour and a half on Glendora versus Lemley, another Cablevision lawsuit, saying that Cablevision is a civil RICO, that they're extortionists, that they intimidate people, that they're an enterprise, that their motive is money. It pretty much covers what a civil RICO is, racketeering. And I worked on that an hour and a half, and it's a brilliant paper. And the last 20 pages show that whoever removed the case removed it illegally and broke all of the laws, Title 28 U.S. Code, Section 1441 to 1449. And then Franklin and I got a delicious dinner for our one and only lawyer friend, Brad Sachs, and we came and we talked and had good fellowship. And Brad made some very interesting statements about the O.J. Simpson case. Then what? Oh, then it was a chat with Glendora, and it didn't start until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was so hard to assign those 15 editions. But we made sure that every edition got a cable company, and that every cable company got a program. And that took a long time. Then they had to be labeled, and they had to be calendared, and then they had to be wrapped, and they went to the post office.
I was helping one woman who was terribly lame, and I was helping her get into her car. I was worried about her, and as I was doing that, another woman fell over the curb 30 feet away, so I ran away from the first woman to help the second woman. It's terrible, and I know she hurt her knees. And she went in the post office, and I think she was late for the post office. Anyway, the tapes got sent all over the country, Portland, Oregon, and Buffalo, New York, and Long Island, and Franklin went to the public file to look up the children's programming sponsorships, and he went to Rainbow Media to look up political sponsorships. Nobody was at Rainbow Media, he said, and he waited 15 minutes. He went to Manhasset and bought $40 worth of vegetarian food. And now it's 6:30, and the chat with Glendora, the tapes for editing on March, the first Tuesday in March, are all in the backpack and in the satchel, but we don't have any tapes for the 6 and so forth. But Franklin's going up to the hinterlands tomorrow, Rockland, Yorktown, and Peekskill, and pick up the programs that have been cablecast, and so there may be enough tapes to fill the bag for that 6th edition to 10th. Franklin says hello. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, you look nice in your blue jacket.
Oh, thank you.
Did you enjoy our dinner guest?
Oh, very much.
Oh, that's good. Is that your china closet? With the mirrors on the back walls and on the side walls and mirrors for shelves?
Right.
Pretty fancy, huh?
Yes.
And what do you have to say, Katie? And there are some pictures of houses I should have taken for you, big houses. This is Franklin's 80, this is our 87th demand, our statutory right to see the books, records, and minutes and shareholders list. And Franklin made this demand on February the 27th. And what time was it, Franklin?
10:25.
10:25. And here's the start when he comes into the building and he makes the demand.
Oh, Jackie. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hello, Marie. Yes, it remains cold, but March is almost here.
Yeah, around the corner.
Yeah. I'm here on my usual journey. Could you call Charlie Forma and came to see the shareholder list and the books and records in accordance with the state corporate law.
Thank you. That's great. Okay, thanks. Yeah, you need to go downstairs. I'm going to go downstairs, but I'm going to help you where you need to go.
Room H, can you go to the gift shop?
Okay. You take the waiter heat on the side?
Oh, what street? H? I think that says H.
Yeah. What is that? What's my train?
CRC.
That is on the top of the road.
Yeah, it's downstairs.
Okay, so go down and see if there might be a sign that says train. Okay. You might getting our cash flow file.
Oh, yes. Yes, you do.
It was 10 or 15 minutes, he said, before Ryan came. But how long did you wait at the counter? You still waiting at the counter? Okay, now we'll fast forward it. Okay, I fast forward it, and here's the part where Paul Ryan comes.
How you doing today, all right? Pretty good. Okay, they're not going to let you see the shareholders if they aren't. Okay, Paul. Just so you know. Okay. How's everything else, all right? Pretty good. Time for spring.
Let me play that for you again. Playing it for you.
How you doing, sir? Hello, Paul. How's everything? Fine. How you doing today, all right? Pretty good. Okay, they're not going to let you see the shareholders if they aren't. Okay, Paul. Just so you know. Okay. How's everything else, all right? Pretty good. Time for spring. Oh. Weather's getting there, though. Yeah, that's right. Weather's getting there. Yeah. It'll be nice when we don't have to dress up all the time. Yeah. That's right. Okay? Okay, Paul. You have a good day, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that's Cablevision caught in the act of breaking the law. The laws of the state of New York, the law of the state of Delaware. It would have been a good idea to say to Paul, why not?
Yeah, I guess so. He would.
So-
He probably wouldn't have had any answer to that. Oh, but then I would have asked him, yes, that's right. Yeah. The point is, I would have asked him, yes.
So you've caught Cablevision breaking the law right there. Franklin went in and demanded to see the shareholders list. So when you go in and do number 88, I think you should, again, what you did the weeks before, ask for Charles Dolan. It isn't up to Charles Foreman. He's not an officer. He's not the chairman of the company. He's not the CEO. It's up to Charles Foreman. Charles Dolan is not up to Charles Foreman. So you've caught Cablevision breaking the law, and it's here on audio tape. The date of that was February 27, 2001, at Bethpage, 1111 Stewart Avenue. Number 87. Next week, Tuesday, will be number 88, first Tuesday of March. Next, folks, is the one and only lawyer that I will count as a friend. This is Brad Sachs. He comes to lunch once a month. I think it's lovely.
Fox, did you bring anybody? Did you bring anybody?
How are you?
Oh, don't you look nice.
How are you?
Oh, you look lovely.
See you. How's
You look
everything?
so nice.
Is everything good?
What's this? This is pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
What do we got, a closing today?
Actually, I had to be in court.
You don't mean it. I thought you gave up litigation.
I tried.
Who was the crook?
Murphy, in front of Judge Murphy.
Hey.
Murphy?
Yeah, redhead, right?
Yeah. Big Irish guy.
Yeah.
You ever heard anything in front of him?
Never. I don't know much about him. Never even monitored him much.
He was in Yonkers.
What was it about? Oh, a lot. Listen, most of them are from Yonkers. There's a machine really works down there.
Unbelievable. Isn't it?
The machine really works down there. Smith is from Yonkers. LaCava's from Yonkers. Rosato's from Yonkers.
Well,
Anyway, what did the judge do?
no, it was on a case where they owed money for a air conditioning unit in a commercial setting for something over in Rockland County. So we won.
Yeah, how much money did they owe?
$50,000.
Really?
construction project.
Really? And so Emmett Murphy signed what?
Well, I had entered a judgment, a default judgment, and the defendants tried to open it up, saying that they weren't notified and there's a meritorious defense. He denied their motion. So we'll try and settle it.
So who was there for the defendant?
Louis Pizzaro, my attorney.
And what did Emmett Murphy say?
Well, he handed us a written decision that he had already ruled in my favor.
He handed it right to you at the bench? Who's his law clerk?
The law clerk, I don't know. No woman. Sit down. Relax.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Courts are packed.
Packed. Yeah, because they don't do their work. It's a wonder he didn't say come back again in 30 days. It's a wonder you got anything done.
It was originally on January 2nd, so don't give him too much credit. It was the second time on.
Yeah, what courtroom is he in?
1803.
Oh, yeah.
1803.
That's Silverman's old courtroom. Was the roof leaking?
No, I didn't notice.
Was it?
No, I didn't notice.
Well, you noticed. It was leaking one day we were in there. Plop, 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 plop.
You're going to get over to Westchester before tomorrow, right?
I finished over there. When I had a long list of things to do after I finished certain litigation, and one of them was to monitor the Westchester court. And I started on the 18th floor, the 19th floor actually, and I went all the way through it. I rang every bell, and I tried to speak to everybody. And out of that came a cause of action that is now in Arizona, in the omnibus lawsuit, where a court clerk and I went in to see the decisions off the wall for the New York Law Journal and for the Westchester Law Journal, and they weren't there. And I asked to see him, and the assistant, the deputy clerk, would not let me see him. So her name's Abramovitz. I sued her for that. And then court officer DeVito, a woman, when I went in to monitor court, came and said, you can't do that. And I said, Article 2, New York judiciary law, the courts are open to the public.
Absolutely. Unless it's an infant or something like that.
That's right. Well, it wasn't. And so I sued her. So they're out in Arizona, both of them. So I finished that. Okay?
I heard the cable vision stuff. It was good.
And so that was the end of that for a long time, because I'm too busy with other ones. You read the
cable vision papers.
No, which was that? The Cablevision paper.
The one where they didn't let you into the meeting.
Oh, the order to show cause, why they shouldn't be fined $10,000 a week until they learn to live by the law. That's a good one. And that everything should be annulled at the February 16th meeting because they didn't notify shareholders. Okay, thanks. I'm glad you read that. Okay, we're going to have our sandwiches.
All right.
see. You didn't bark it, Brad. He's got a good memory. See, he remembers you, and he remembers the grocery man. But he's a great dog. Does he ever protect us?
I believe it.
Nobody comes near us. Nobody comes near that car.
That's good.
Tom DeLuca, who...
You could have had him when you were in Bruiser.
Tom DeLuca, the coffee machine, he was bringing me cartridges. The ripcord on one of my cartridges, I couldn't get it out until he came to help me do that. And he's kidding, you know. And he comes up to the glass door like this, and he says, Glendora! And Rusty went like this. Rah, 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 rah. He went with both his hands and did a spread eagle. Isn't that funny? I appreciated Tom DeLuca's humor, but he ran across the street. Now come and see the museum. Museum's nice, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's good shape, isn't it? And you're going to take care of all of these?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to put them in storage?
Mm-hmm. That's no problem. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's fine. I like the colors, too.
As an index for them. And this is Franklin's newspaper articles. Those two columns. And these are Glendora's videotapes of commercials, 2-inch. They're all...
I love your commercials. I may start watching them.
Now, it surprises me, Brad, that people don't catch on as to what's going on here. These great exposures, and I've gone all over the United
I
States.
think a lot of people have. Not as many as you would like, of course, but I think there's a lot of people that understand that there's a problem. Yeah, but people like you are unwilling to commit the time to do something about it.
Oh,
I think that's the problem.
Los Angeles, Detroit, St. Louis, Arizona is the most recent one.
People aren't willing to give the time. That's the problem.
Do they know that there's no courts?
A lot of people, I would say a lot of people have, I would say probably the OJ verdict did a lot to damage or maybe bring to light people's questioning of the courts and losing the blind faith in the court system.
Oh.
That was obviously a clear, one of the more dramatic and clearer indications of how the system can fail.
That's a good statement. Very good statement. Do they know? They know, of course, that the Southern District is bad.
It shook me up a lot when I saw that verdict.
It did shake you up a lot.
I was watching on television. I was just absolutely
What were your thoughts?
devastated. Devastated with that hearing. Improper forum made a statement about a racist cop. Fine, Mark Furman's a racist. We all understand that. That's fine. The prosecution probably had no business using his testimony. That's fine. That's not the forum to object to racial problems in this country by letting two innocent people be dead without somebody that obviously killed them not pay for it.
So that was your feelings
Yes.
after you heard that verdict.
Mm-hmm.
What were your feelings when you heard the civil action verdict?
So what? You know, it's not where, not, what does it matter? He's running around in his cars, he's playing golf, he's got his kids, he's free as a bird, so he owes $50 million. Is it affecting him? No.
33, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, it affects him a little bit, but that's not 30 years in jail, it affects him a lot more.
I think that you have probably stated that better than anybody I've ever heard. I think you have stated that better than anybody. And that would damage people's faith in the system, that the civil said, yes, he did it, and the criminal said, no, he didn't.
Burden of proof and all of that garbage, yeah. That's true.
That would right away tell people there's something wrong.
No, it's true. Well, I think that there's nothing else for a lot of attention. They fall apart.
Say that again?
You know,
Okay. I heard you, okay. Well, Brad, do they know what I have found out? That we knew the Southern District was dirty, and we knew I'm talking about federal courts, that the Southern District was no good, and that the Eastern District was no good. But did they know that California, Los Angeles was no good? Detroit, St. Louis? Did they know that? Alabama?
Probably not. As a matter of fact, that people would be more inclined to think that the local state courts are a problem and would hold the federal courts in much higher regard. Oh, wow, this looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I see, and so, okay, then that's a great thing. Now do people realize what's going on? Because I found that out, and I have the documents to prove it.
And when it gets warmer, don't think the guy's going to come to White Plains? What are you saying?
Well, warmness has nothing to do with it. What I like is our being together here with the fireplace and
Nice.
with our food, which is better.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, who's going to say prayer?
Oh, you say it really well.
Me? Okay. Dear God, we thank you for this, Lent is today, Ash Wednesday. We thank you for our comradeship and our fellowship, and that we get together and we touch one another's souls. And we thank you for your grand creations. Your creations are just beauties to behold. We thank you for thought, and that we can put our thought in voice, and that we can put it on paper, and that we can put it in electronics. We thank you for this beautiful universe that you are. Amen.
Very nice.
Thanks. Vegetarian ham.
That's great.
Well, the question to you that I had, do people realize what this work is producing? Do they realize the campaign here that's going on, the crusade? I don't think they do, but I think they will. I don't know what it is, whether people aren't hearing about it enough, or there's too much information in the world. People spending hours on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but people don't seem to understand. Very few do. And I hear from them. I suppose there's a whole lot more that do who don't. You don't hear from. But that's why the museum is so important, because I don't think its day has really come.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a Beethoven symphony or something. It's a great work, but its day of people's understanding what is happening, I don't think it's come.
Maybe true.
Ergo, the record is so important.
Oh, yeah.
And I thank you for
No, it's great.
promising to take care of it.
How's everything going here? Your landlord and everything?
He's really nice.
That's great.
He happens to be a nice person. Can you believe that? A landlord who's a nice person?
What a great move it was. I really got to do you a favor. You haven't heard again from that guy for Charlotte?
No, but I have a case against him in the Delaware court to
And what happened to the rent money? For those months that he tried to pay him?
It was never paid.
No.
Well, it was paid, but it was never accepted.
So I'm saying, so where is it? Back in the, is it in the court or?
Oh, no, in the court? No.
Newspaper back to you?
Well, he never took it.
He never took it. And he's not trying to get it? No, he's not trying to get it, no. No, he's not. You have any idea what happened with that house?
No.
Really?
Franklin went by it, I think a week ago. Or
Oh,
two.
is that? People living there, can you tell us?
It looks as if not.
Wow.
There used to be a car parked in back.
Franklin, now tell us what happened. Tell Brad how you're going to the public file on political sponsorship. And it was open? The door was open? Dolan let a door be open? Dolan doesn't let the doors be open. And that's exactly how he acts, like Napoleon.
Tell me everything.
That's exactly how he acts, like Napoleon.
No, you eat that.
No, next one's coming up.
No, you eat that. Eat this one.
What?
More. You eat this one.
Oh, more?
Hey, you eat this one. I'll wait for the next one, Seth.
Okay, but I don't think I can. I'm kind of burned already, the toast.
That's all right. I don't mind, sir.
No. Yes, and he's imperialistic, okay? And he thinks he's going to regimentate public access, and you should see what he's done to least access. I bet you
Amazing.
people don't use least access because he's so imperious about the conditions that they have to sign.
But he wasn't able to get you up public access, was he?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Today, that's got to be an unbelievable victory.
Yeah, I think you have a real feeling for that, Brad.
Oh, yeah.
He just thought he was going to get away with it, didn't he? Yeah. He just thought nothing was going to happen. Did you see the program? No, that's tonight. Did you see it last week? place, was it in Memphis, Tennessee? It wasn't that, was it?
I don't think so. You filmed so many shows, like impossible.
Oh, yes, you want to know how many I did yesterday?
How many?
18. I did 18 half-hour programs. You're only going to see one of them.
That's amazing.
There's a man named, have you ever heard of a man named Michael Brown?
No, but how do you do 18 shows?
Yeah. Well, I try to videotape them every day as things happen. That's one thing. I try to do the day's videotaping in that day. And then there's so much information. See, this is it. Yeah, well, that's it. Well, we got there at 8:30. And I had my time from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I had a problem with John Sheridan, who does a spiritual show. It's very, very nice. But he called up and said he wasn't feeling well, and Rob came down and says, you can have his time from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then the 5 p.m. fella comes in, and he does a sports show. You would love it. He interviewed Muhammad Ali's daughter,
Wow.
who is going to box Joe Frazier's daughter.
I haven't yet heard about that.
Yeah.
That didn't happen yet, though, right?
No, they're getting ready for it. And what they had to say was very, very interesting. And they were good-looking people, women. Imagine that. Imagine that. He had that interview, and he had other interviews with giants, and he had other interviews with, he had no baseball players. Anyway, he came in, and he wasn't using my side. There's two. There's 1 3/4 inch and a ½ inch VHS. And the other one is all VHS to VHS. And that I never use. But he wasn't using my side. And so he just let me go on and use it.
Wow.
So by that way, I got it done. All except maybe a smidgen.
How long were you there for?
We left at 10 after 9 in the evening. 13 hours to answer your question, times 2 people.
Every day?
No,
I mean, every week?
well, usually we leave at 6 or 7. But it takes all day.
Oh.
The chat with Glendora takes 50 hours a week. 50.
That is just a lot of work.
Yeah, but isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that the public has that access? No more, Franklin?
Oh.
This one right here.
Oh. Thank you. Wow. Just a lot of stuff. Now, in the old days, you would do 1 or 2 shows.
Real?
Be great.
How about some more at that fruit drink?
But, don't laugh now. It's good.
One more? Want some water?
What's good?
No, I got nut fruit drink if you want. Now, how about orange juice?
Good.
Now, where did I put the nut fruit drink?
Amazing the way the whole Scott Board thing really got the whole thing going.
In Long Island. Well, I think God had a plan because those people didn't know what their public access rights were. Believe me. They didn't know. And Dolan had really, he had telecare. He was using the public access channel for telecare. Religious, which I like. I like the programs very much.
Unbelievable. That was good, thank you. Full.
You know, no more sandwiches?
Right on, full.
How can you
I have to
stop?
stop at like 6 or 7 sandwiches on that.
This is that product.
Very good.
Yes, it is good. Parve, how do you pronounce that?
Parve.
Parve?
No, just Parve, actually. The E silent.
But the money isn't. Do they ever charge for that? Those rabbis.
Oh, yeah. on? We about decided we can go out today. Oh, okay. Go out tomorrow.
We have in days.
Good. Well, it's cold today. It's very cold. You videotaping all today?
Yes, I hope to. Well, I am in the middle of...
Any legal papers?
I'm in the middle of 4 great works.
Really?
Yes.
Which one?
Well, McCasey, have you ever heard of him? Federal Judge, Manhattan. He's now the Chief Judge. Hi, Rusty. You are such a good dog. Yes, go over and say hello to Brad. Yes, you just go and say hello to Brad. He's such a good dog. He got out an order with Griesa. You know who Griesa was, the former Chief Judge. Well, now McCasey is the Chief Judge. McCasey is a clone of Griesa. And guess what the order says? Glendora, you show cause why you should... Well, first of all, a little background. This is the Glendora versus the New York City Parking Violations Bureau. You knew that they violated due process. And you knew that they knew that.
Oh, yeah.
And you knew that they returned all the money, except $20. Their arithmetic is bad. They returned it all. Came out to like, the original bill was $620, Franklin paid $430, and they returned it all except $20. Which shows, of course, that they had no case, because they dismissed all 3 of them. 1993, 1995, 1997, was that it? And then I sued them before they'd returned it. I sued them in the United States District Court of Alabama. And the judge transferred the case. And he made 2 mistakes. One, you have to rule on informa pauperis. You have to, my motion, to proceed without payment of court fee. So the case could not proceed until he either denied the motion or granted the motion.
Right.
If he denied it, then that's over. Its case is over. If he granted it, then he can proceed to a transfer.
Right. You want to transfer to Manhattan?
He did. And I immediately got out a Rule 60B motion, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, saying that I wanted relief from that judgment. And I say, this is why it's wrong. Most of all, you didn't rule on the IFT. But he transferred it anyway, so it's an illegal transfer. Okay, I'll be back. And previously to that, Griesa said I could not file any cases in the Southern District of New York without leave of the court first, and that any case that I did file would be returned. Well, he never got a chance to return it because I would never file in the Southern District of New York because I can't get justice there. Furthermore, 28 U.S. Code 1404 says that a transfer has to be in the interest of justice. How can that transfer be in justice if I can't get justice in the Southern District of New York? Broccoli soup.
Oh, soup?
You should have something hot. And, all right, so guess what Griesa did? He never got a chance to return any lawsuit I filed for leave to file a lawsuit. He never got a chance to do that because I wouldn't file in there. He gets McCasey to write an order, show cause why Glendora should not pay $500 for filing a lawsuit in the Southern District of New York after she was told not to, after she was warned.
Wait, that's crazy.
There we are.
It's on a transfer.
It's on a transfer. I did not file it there.
Party? Do you even know how this case came to them?
Well, he says whether it's transferred or not.
No, you can't.
Oh, he did say that.
That's lunacy.
They say-
Tell me what. Tell me what the Alabama judge paid.
What? The judge what?
Should pay the $500.
That's good, Brad. Very, very good. Remember that, Franklin. The Alabama judge should pay the $500. So I have until March, the order came out on February 7th, so I have until March 7th. I've already written 50 pages, excoriating these people.
You should say, I don't want to be here any more than you don't want me here.
That's another good one, right. Right. Oh, and also they went so far as to say, in some kind of language, that I couldn't file a case anywhere in the United States, sort of like that.
No, you're kidding.
Now, Brad, talk to me about that. Tell me why they can't do that. They don't have jurisdiction, right?
I don't really know why they can't, but it sounds like they shouldn't be able to.
Well, they can't.
Oh, of course they can.
What jurisdiction do they have outside of their own district?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even think they could have done it in the Southern District.
Do what? Say you can't file cases without leave of the case. No, that's closing the courts. It takes away my day in court.
Based on what, right?
Yeah, based on what? The fact that I've sued Griesa 10 times. That's what it's based on. Tough.
Let them go and do something different.
You should. Remember everything Brad said.
Crazy.
Okay. So that's one great paper I'm in the middle of.
Wow.
Another one is in 1998. I sued, it's called Glendora versus Lemley. He's executive secretary of Cablevision, and he's Dolan's kick boy.
Okay.
And I filed this lawsuit. The Cablevision was a civil recall.
I don't remember that.
They're racketeers. They use extortion, raising your rate.
Mm-hmm.
They're a monopoly. They're an enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
They use intimidation. So I said there's civil recall. And it was in the Nassau Supreme Court. And the judge did nothing. His name is John P. Dunn. He did nothing. And time goes by, and I see over in the court file, I went over there and asked the clerk to see the court file, and I see in there a notice of removal. Do you know this queer thing that federal courts can remove the case from state court? It is an anachronism, but it is there. 28 U.S. Code 1441 to 1449. The feds can remove a case if it's got a federal defendant in it.
Who makes it? Someone has to make the motion to have it done.
U.S. attorney.
How do you even know about the case? Because he has to appear in the case court?
Oh no, I sued several judges along with it.
That's it.
Several Eastern District judges and several other judges.
They can remove it. Their lawyers can remove it.
But Brad, I received no notice of removal. The other defendants received no notice of removal. There are over 40 defects in the so-called removal. And I tossed off the case long ago. Nickerson had it, who lives in Nassau. And I made a motion to Nickerson. He never ruled on the motion, so I wrote a paper to Nickerson. Notice, Glendora has won all of the relief that she sought in this case because it's a New York state law that a judge has to rule on a motion within 60 days.
Wow.
Guess what? I wrote it off, see? And I was going to refile it. and I was going to refile it. But I get an order from a judge named Marina Raji in your Brooklyn, a federal judge, saying defendants have moved for dismiss. And something else. Let Glendora answer by March the 9th. That's the order. That's the paper I'm working on. This one is already 30 pages because Part C is all about the defects in the removal. Part B is I've never received a notice of removal. I don't know who the defendants are. And that's what I said to the judge. Who are the defendants? What are their names? I have never received a notice of removal. And then I went through a whole lot of stuff, and that'll be Part D. That one's just about, that'll be written. Then you have to do all the other work to it when you have to make copies and do the envelopes and post it.
Of course.
All that. So that's another great paper.
Yeah.
Third one is that, why don't you tell Brad about it? Oh, you haven't read it. You haven't had time to read it. U.S. Supreme Court sent back our petitions for writ of certiorari. And this is the third time we're going after that. And they say we didn't serve the Solicitor General. You know what the Solicitor General does? He's supposed to punish bad U.S. attorneys, assistant U.S. attorneys.
I'm sure that he has a very lonely job. Very boring job.
So they're right about that. So Franklin served them. Got that copy and served them at Staples. And then a couple other things. They want Franklin to fill out a 4-page IFP form, inform of paupers, that he's a poor person. But that's not the issue. The issue is that Franklin was declared IFP in the Eastern District of New York. Franklin was declared IFP in the United States Court of Appeals Second Circuit. He obviously is IFP in the U.S. Supreme Court. And I have said that to him this time. I really said it to him. I said, res judicata, collateral estoppel.
Unless you get the lotto. How much is the filing fees in the Supreme Court? Like $350 or something?
3. You're right. Is it $350? It was $300. Did it go up?
Maybe. Who knows?
No, I don't think it went up. I would know. Well, that's ridiculous. And you want to know something? 1% of the writs, of the petitions, are heard. 1%. That means that
money.
Huh?
That's all the money.
Yes, that's what happens. They keep your money. That's 7,000 people a year go to their Supreme Court, which they're entitled to by the Constitution, and are turned away. Nobody hears them. 7,000 people a year.
The 70 you heard? Out of 7,000?
Yeah, even 70 would be a high figure. Or it's less than 1%.
That was great. I'm full.
You really full? Well, you gotta have your sugar cookies, haven't you?
Maybe one. Just one. I gotta go. And,
Until 6:30 because we didn't go to bed until after 11. But usually I get up at 5.
Well,
Tuesdays I get up at 3
that's crazy.
because there's videotaping to do. It's got to be done before it's edited. I have to pack our lunch. We have the greatest lunches. You know what, Archie? Oh, I didn't finish telling you about Archie. He's the one who's interviewing, and it's called Sports. Profiles. He's got a cute little program. He goes to Yankee Stadium, not Yankee Stadium, he goes to Giant Stadium, and he videotapes it there.
Oh.
I think it's a cute program, and he's a good-looking young man, a young black man. Anyway, he came into the editing room. He went out for a second, he came back to the editing room, and he says to me, somebody's having a party out there. I said, where? He says, in the room where the TV is. I says, that's our lunch. That's how big a lunch we bring. We bring the greatest food.
Yeah. You need to have that.
What?
You need it for a 12-hour day. 13-hour day.
Oh, I see. How about a drink of water? How about some candy? Jelly beans. It's Easter. You gotta have jelly beans.
One jelly bean for Easter. That's right.
So your holidays are coming up.
That's why it was April.
Yeah, well,
April 6th or 7th.
you know why?
I think the 15th.
You know why they're always together, don't you?
We're going to say it's like the Last Supper.
Yes. Christ went to Jerusalem for the Passover.
Yeah.
And that's when they nailed him. Just like the courts of today.
Yeah.
Literally nailed him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible thing. They said that was very, very common along the Roman roadways. The crucifixions. That they would be along the roadways
I know.
to scare people.
Did that in Spartacus in the movie, you saw that, the Romans.
You did?
We did it to these gladiators that were trying to fight for their freedom.
Isn't it awful how
He tried to dome him with the hammer. He couldn't reach, he's too little. Let's stand on a ladder.
how'd you know Dolan was little?
Yeah, I've seen him. Seen him interviewed.
You seen him interviewed?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of his brother Larry, who they tried to pull off the Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Browns. Remember that? And they
He
failed?
did.
No, they failed. You know, I got a letter to the NFL. What's his
All right,
name?
you told me about that.
Rudigo. He's a funny name. Who? Tagliabue.
Tagliabue.
Yeah. I got a letter off. And I says, that man still owes Franklin the interest on the subpoena money that he stole.
Remember how long ago that was? It's a while ago. Oh, yeah.
96.
All right, gotta go.
Gotta go. What are you gonna do then?
I've got...
He can't move.
All right. I gotta go through my mail, I got dictation, I got, you know...
So what do I, not April date, but March.
March.
Because this
We'll
was
figure it out.
February.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
March.
I'll talk to you in March. I'll talk to you before that about March. Good to see you.
You say there's no Passover in March.
No. No Passover in March.
And there's no Easter in March
No.
except Lent. Let's see.
Don't call me on the phone.
I'm going to say to you, you know the dates are the same in March as they are in February. And I was going to ask you, how about March the 16th? That's Friday.
Okay, I'll put it down.
Because, you know, Dolan ruined our other one with that phony shareholder
March
meeting.
the 16th will be fine.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
and when you read that order to show cause, that was the reason I asked you if you would let me go.
Right, no, of course. There's no problem.
Yeah, well, you had the first option, of course.
No. Business is... The public is important.
What car you got today,
A
Brett?
loaner car. My Lexus is in the shop.
What's wrong?
Maintenance.
Oh,
So they
okay.
give me a loaner.
Oh, they did? Who did that?
Lexus of Greenwich.
Oh, that's where you got it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Love you too. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You take care. Yeah, I got you this time.
Non-stop.
You probably didn't eat any breakfast, though. Yeah. It's 12:50 p. February 28th, Wednesday. Ash Wednesday. What would you like? Like a drink of water?
That is the one and only lawyer we have as a friend. That's Brad Saxton. That was on Ash Wednesday, February 28th, year 2001, the start of Lent. It's 10 o'clock, folks. Franklin has gone on the errands. He's gone way up to the Northlands. First he has to go to the bank to pay the rent. And trying to print the to-do sheets for the month of March. They're yellow. They go by the colors of the rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green. This is the third month, it's the third color. Then he has to go to Stop and Shop to buy catnip. They have the best catnip. It's much better than Hart's Mountain. It's called Cosmo or Cosmic or something. And operating two machines is just impossible for me. You know, operating one of them, the videotape camera, that's enough. That's about all I can handle. Now I'm trying to do two, the videotape camera and the copy machine. So he'll go to Pathmark. I hope he gets marked down donuts. Excuse me, not Pathmark, Stop and Shop. They have good marked down donuts. Their donuts are really better than Dunkin' Donuts. Then he has to go to Harrison to see Ralph Capella and hand in a chat with Glendora to New Rochelle and to Harrison. Dolan put money in his pocket by doubling those operations. There is no more Mamaroneck. We used to hand the tapes in at Mamaroneck. And so that'll be Harrison and Portchester. And then he has to go to Staples to get business envelopes, 500 business envelopes. And then to Odd Lot to get AAA batteries. Odd Lot has the best deal on batteries, I think. And also to buy some more of that Gardetto mix that is so good and such hard work and so interesting. And then he goes to White Plains Public Access. And then he goes to our lawyer friend. He goes to the post office, and he goes to the Center for Judicial Accountability, and to the town of Greenberg. Town of Greenberg is a fugitive in the omnibus lawsuit, so they have to be personally served. Not only did they rob us of public access, either out of stupidity or out of collusion with TCI, but they're stupid enough to return the lawsuit against them for that. This is hard. See, I ran out of yellow paper. Now I'm running cardstock through the copy machine. I don't know if he likes that or not. There's just two more to go. And then he goes across the Tappan Zee Bridge to Rockland County. Paul LaPlante is on vacation. Then I hope he goes up to Palisades Parkway, up to the Bear Mountain Bridge and to Poughkeepsie that way, instead of going back across the Tappan Zee and up Route 9 and go through 25 traffic lights. And he goes to Peekskill, public access, and then he looks in at the Peekskill court. Of course, they will be loafing. They won't be doing anything. Their job is justice. They won't be doing that. and then he goes to the cross Route 202 through Cortland Manor and into, or Cortland rather, and into Yorktown. And he hopes somebody is there. Now Dolan has done a terrible thing in his greed and in his Gestapoism. Dolan has ruined the Yorktown Public Access Center. Yorktown Public Access Center was a great glory in its day. I used to have a young man who worked for me. And he used to come and tell me about all the great things that happened at Yorktown, where they made video shows. It was really a hometown exciting experience. And Dolan apparently has ruined all that, because the last time Franklin went to Yorktown, there wasn't anybody on the job in public access. So Dolan fires the people and puts the money in his greedy pocket. Not a nice man.
Is Andrew there, please?
Andrew off today.
He's off today.
He'll be here tomorrow early.
Yeah. What time? What time?
11 o'clock.
11?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Hi, this is Amy Van Horn. I'm either on another call or away from my desk. If your call is regarding the pickup of public or leased access tapes, please call Vanessa at 393-3631. If you do have another question, please call Bob at 393-3614.
Good work on your part.
Thank you very much. I have, let me see how many more I have. I have 5 more, and I'll be able to play them all in succession this coming Friday.
That would be Friday, March 2nd.
I'm sorry, hold on, I'm looking at March 9th, but I think it should be the same. Yeah, March 2nd.
March 2nd.
And that'll be 3068-5
Good.
at 9:30 a.m.
Good.
3069-6 at 10 a.m.
Good.
3070-7 at 10:30. 3071-8 at 11. And 3072-9 will be at 11:30 a.m.
I got lost. 9:30, 10, 10:30 at 11. I have 30718 at 11 a.m.
Yes.
And then 30729 at 11:30, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What?
Takes care of the newest one.
Excuse me?
That takes care of all of your newest.
Newest one. And which one of those is Nassau? One of those is Nassau.
3070-7 for February 27th.
Okay.
I mean, wait a minute. For special February 27th, for March 16th.
For March 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's Nassau. Very good.
Okay.
When did those tapes arrive? Do you know?
Tuesday morning. Well, that's when I came in and they were on my desk. So
Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it?
yeah, I'm not sure.
Your desk must have been... I bet you couldn't see your desk.
You're not kidding. I had a big pile of stuff. I still do. I'm still going through it.
You are?
Yeah.
It isn't fair. That's just not fair. You get punished for going away to have your vacation.
That's all right. It was worth it. Listen, I really have to run.
Okay, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
I didn't leave Lindbergh. I edited from 9 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m.
Okay.
I have 15 editions, I believe.
Okay.
I'll ship them to you?
Sure, that's fine.
Thank you. I saw a blank spot in prime time.
You did?
Last night on Channel 71. You see what happens when you go on vacation? I actually saw...
There was a reason.
I saw a blank spot.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Glendora, I'll look into it for you, and we'll take care of the newest specials, okay?
Thank you, Amy.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
3 p.m. I think every edition has a cable company. Now I've got to give an edition to every cable company. February 28th, Lent, Ash Wednesday.
Did you hear about the meticulous doctor back 20 years ago? Kidding.
You have 6 messages in mailbox 1. Mailbox 1, Tuesday, 6 a.m.
Well, my name is Ron Eckhart. I'm with the U.S. District Court Clerk's Office in Wilmington, Delaware. You can reach me at 532-573-6158. Thank you.
Tuesday, 5:11 p.m. Daily News, Tuesday, February 27th, page 64. Siegel seeks city office. Norman Siegel, Executive Director of the New York Civil Liberties Union for 15 and a half years, stepped down yesterday to seek citywide office. He has been a vocal critic of Mayor Giuliani's, most notably on First Amendment issues and police brutality. Norman Siegel is not qualified to be a gangster. He's not qualified to be a schnuck. He's just another scumbag lawyer. The voters of New York City have been disenfranchised for years and years and years. New York City Corporation Council, representing the New York City Board of Elections, has admitted that New York City has deprived Norman Siegel, famous Fleabag lawyer, of his right to vote all these years, along with the right to vote enjoyed by all registered New York City voters. New York City voters, as I've said time and time again, because I think it's important, have been denied the right to cast write-in votes on the machine in contested primaries. Norman Siegel is unfit to hold city office. He is not a believer in the First Amendment as applied to the state through the 14th Amendment. He has been silent for years and years and years and years regarding your right to vote for the bum of your choice on the machine by write-in in contested primaries. Siegel will be vying to replace public advocate Mark Green, who is campaigning for mayor, blah, blah, blah. So, when you go to vote in the contested Democratic primary for public advocate, if you don't like any of those bums, don't vote for them. Vote for Irving Gell, or Jackson Lee, or Anita Shula, or anyone else that you might like, because they stand up for people's right to vote for the bum of their choice on the machine in contested primaries. Don't vote for Norman. Remember, Norman was bested by a cab driver, and the average cab driver is smarter than the average lawyer. At least he knows where he's going, hopefully. Tuesday, 5:46 p.m. The New York Times, Tuesday, February 27th, Business Day, page C1. Bush selects an economist from Columbia. After weeks of trying to fill the job of chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, President Bush yesterday nominated Robert Glenn Hubbard, a Columbia University economist and an outspoken advocate of tax cuts.
Hubbard is a prolific researcher, professor of economics and finance at Columbia's Graduate School of Business, tax law is a specialty. Mr. Hubbard, if a voter in the city of New York successfully sues the city of New York for denial of the civil rights secured by the First and 14th Amendments, are the proceeds from said action taxable or non-taxable, Mr. Hubbard? Mr. Hubbard, what is the economic exposure when each and every voter registered in the city of New York whose rights have been violated sues the city of New York? And to make matters more intriguing, when the city of New York admits that it's violated the law. Mr. Hubbard, do New York City voters really need a tax break? Or simply, do they need to pick up their pen, jot a few notes on a couple sheets of paper, go down to the courthouse, perhaps even on March 14th, before the Honorable George B. Daniels in the Southern District of New York, say, Judge, a registered voter, my rights have been violated, I want to get paid. And by the way, Judge, if I am paid, is it tax-free or not? So, look in the Manhattan phone book, and next time you have an opportunity to communicate with Robert Glenn Hubbard, ask him, Mr. Hubbard, are you registered to vote in the city of New York? Have your rights been violated? And if your rights have been violated, Mr. Hubbard, do you give a damn about said violation? And what is said violation worth? Tuesday, 6:16 p.m. Glendora, this is Sexy Sadie. On it 718-481-6559. Wednesday, 11:55 a.m. Wednesday, 12:24. City Board of Elections, Rhodes Attorney, New York City Corporation Council, recently admitted in a written brief submitted to the New York State Court of Appeals that it has violated the election law for 42 years. Where were you, Mr. McCall? Whatever white golfing party you'd like to bring with you. Take care, have a good trip, and enjoy voting in Florida. End of message.
We left off videotaping reports to you on Ash Wednesday. Now here it is Tuesday, March the 6th. So there's so many reports to fill in for you. So I got out the log, and Mr. Sachs, Dr. Sachs, he's a lawyer, doctor of jurisprudence, he left. And I finished chat with Glendora, and it takes the usual 8.5 hours Glendora and 4 hours Franklin to get it done. And all of the tapes got labeled in preparation for editing today, Tuesday, March the 6th, but we got snowed in again. And all of the boxes were taken out, the return box and the 3/4 inch box, 3/4 inch tapes, and tapes were all set to go to Queens yesterday, Monday, but we got snowed in. Tapes were all set to go to Yonkers, to go to Manhattan, to go to Brooklyn on Monday, but we got snowed in. That was yesterday. And storm number 9 was all gone the next day. The lawns had no snow on them anymore. But along comes snowstorm number 10 Monday, and it was sleet and ice and slippery. That was snowstorm number 10. And in the same day, we got snowstorm number 11, which was 6 inches of snow. It started around dinner time, around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. but we're snowed in. So we've been snowed in for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. And I certainly ran around Sunday after church to get all the supplies in to finish Mukasey and to finish Raji. Supplies of envelopes, supplies of copying paper, supplies of toner for the copying machine, and microcassettes, audio cassettes. They were all sold out. Staples was all sold out of batteries, no AAA batteries. They were all sold out of green pens, flare pens. Do that. No, you can't do that. Why? Because there's just too much to do, made by lawbreakers, and the lawbreakers don't end with, like the corporations, the people you sue. The lawbreaking doesn't end with the defendants. The lawbreaking goes on into the lawyers and into the judges. Too much lawbreaking. Somebody's got to stand up and say, you're not going to get away with this, and we're making a record of it, and we know that you know. Okay, so I couldn't sit and do 0. I was supposed to meditate at 6 p.m. every night for 2 hours. That hasn't happened for 5 years. So I did some meditation, and at 8:30 it's time to get the beds ready, and at 9 o'clock it's time to go to sleep, and at 5 a.m. it's time to get up and go to work. And I slept to on Tuesday night, I slept until 6:20 a.m. Wednesday morning, and that was because on Tuesday morning I get up at 3 a.m. to do the videotaping reports for you, because they have to be done by the time we get to Lindbergh and edit, because that's the last shot. So Ash Wednesday has come. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow, this is the end of the first week of Lent. A very spiritual time. But then all times are spiritual. All times are spiritual. All times you feel the greatness of God, and you feel the power of God, and you feel what a magnificent job God does to give us this universe. And that's expressed in the prayer that we said when Mr. Sachs was here, Dr. Sachs was here. These are the logs that are kept. The job, the number of the job, and the time it starts and the time it ends. So what happened on Thursday, the first day of March? Can you imagine 2 months are already gone of the millennium? So on the first day of March, you have to get up and do the chores. How many chores do you have to do in the morning? I have 15. And then to make the errands list for Franklin. I think some brilliant work was done early in the morning, either on McCasey or Raji. These papers are here. They're out, and I will be reading them to you. And then the errands list for Franklin. Oh yeah, 1st of March, you have to pay the rent. This apartment costs $45 a day, $1,200 a month, plus a Con Edison, which is about $120 a month. So Franklin went to the bank. I offered to go with him. He said, no, you don't have to. And he arranged the rent check. And he took care of that. Then he went to Stop and Shop and got catnip, because they have the best catnip. It's much better than Hart's Mountain. It's called Cosmos or something, Cosmic. And it's fresher, greener, and apparently it's tastier because Penny flips over it and so does Katie. They have a wonderful time with the catnip. And then I guess he headed to Harrison to see Ralph Capella. And then to Staples for office supplies, and to Odd Lot to get batteries, but they didn't have AA batteries, AAA batteries. But he likes the snacks they have, and the macaroni. And then I think he went to White Plains Public Access, and then to Dr. Sachs, and then to the Center for Judicial Accountability, to the White Plains Post Office, and then he went across the river to Cablevision Rockland, and Public Access, Paula Plant, and then he went to Peekskill Public Access. The Peekskill Court was open, but there wasn't anybody around, and that's in the afternoon sometime. And he went to Yorktown, and I believe it was Al who helped him and got him, they were supposed to get 10 Cross Rivers for January and February, 10 A Chat with Glendora's for January and February, and 10 Hidden Truth for January and February. But it didn't add up to 30. Excuse me, I shouldn't say 10, it was 8 each. It didn't add up to 24. And he didn't get home until 7:30, and he was very, very tired. And but Glennie took care of him and took off his coat and hung it up for him and took him into the kitchen where it was nice and warm and fed him nice hot food. So we had good dinner, and we got to bed on time, 9 o'clock. And he worked on those brilliant legal papers, Mukasey, the United States Supreme Court, Bruiser Ken, and Raji, and Dolan, and the public file. And William came with the groceries, and they cost $76. And I gave him cookies and a tip. And I was working on the refiles. These are cases that were in the United States District Court in the past couple of years, maybe more, that were not adjudicated on their merits, that were just sloughed off because the judges are crooked, and the courts are crooked, and the clerks are crooked. And all of these cases have to be filed again. One would certainly be Glendora versus Conway, saying that the Eastern District of New York is a civil RICO. They are a racketeer. They're an enterprise. They use extortion. Their motive is money. So they're just racketeers. And so they are a civil RICO. That's Title 18 Criminal Code, U.S. Code, Section 1964C. Civil RICO. And there have been plenty of those. And there have been plenty of lawsuits. So that's what's going on for the great works. The great fights for rights. So, and the job on the refile is to go through the file. First of all, you have to find the files. You know, where are they in these boxes? You know, there's like 120 museum drawers. What museum is it? It's the Glendora Public Access Museum, the Glendora Pro Se Museum. And so there's like 120 file drawers here. There is an index, and you go through the index and go through the index. And I did okay. I found file 72 is the current Bruiser Ken file. Now that's all the U.S. Supreme Court. And file 71 Bruiser Ken. And look through that, and there are no complaints in that. I'm looking for complaints, like Glendora versus Conway, which was filed sometime in 1998. File 70 had no complaints. File 69 had no complaints. No, file 69, 68, and 67 I haven't been able to locate yet. I think they're in the outdoor on the porch in those file drawers. But I did find a whole drawer full of Bruiser Ken files. You know, as big as one of these file drawers, one of these boxes. Painted Staples copy paper boxes. And I found a whole drawer full, and it was file 34, file 35, and to date I've gone through 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44, and 4 books that were sent to the United States Supreme Court on Buell versus Mildworm. That was done just a year ago. It's when Marlin was killed by a mad motorist, somebody who doesn't know how to drive a car and should have the license taken away. Went zooming down the street. Murdered not only Marlin, but a neighbor cat, a beautiful neighbor cat. And that happened around March 25th or 6th, and today is March 6th. So that was filed a year ago in the United States Supreme Court. Friday was another great gift from God, another beautiful day. And on Friday, March 3rd, Franklin and Glendora stayed in all day, and we were able to get done the U.S. Supreme Court's Bruiser Ken, this year's 2001, and the third time that we've sent it in. They asked for more corrections. You can see all they're doing is harassing us and not giving us justice. So we got it done the third time, and we took it down to the post office and served it, submitted it. And it only cost $5.80 media mail. The other way it would have cost $15 or $20. And we scolded the U.S. Supreme Court for not wrapping their papers. If they're going to return our papers for corrections, and they have to do it right. They have to wrap it right. They should go to the United States Post Office and get a priority mailbox or some kind of a carton. But this is the second time rather, that has come back from the post office, where the post office rescued it. Thank you, Post Office. Thank you, United States Post Office, for rescuing it twice from these sloppy people in the United States Supreme Court who don't know how to wrap very valuable papers correctly and safely, and endangering these great works. We had number 9 snowstorm Friday, and it was very light. Feed the cats and Penny. Legal paper number 1 was done. That's a public file, least access. Franklin and I, if you dial 1-800, the number for information, is it 222? No, something, 1212 or 222. Anyway, you dial that number. You want a telephone number in Atlanta, Georgia, so you dial 411. And guess how much they want you to put in the phone? $2.10 to get one number. Those crooks. They've been beaten down before, so we'll beat that down. So we're up to March the 2nd, Friday. The work continued on McCasey and Rodgers. Very important work for America. Chores got done late in the afternoon. The in-mail was a lawyer named Cahagan, who, along with a whole lot of other lawyers, snickered the public and reappointed Mark D. Fox in May when his appointment was up Labor Day, and they should have done it in Labor Day, but they did it in May so the public wouldn't have a chance to oppose it. That's how crooked these judges are in reappointing, in everything they do, but in reappointing magistrates. Meditation got done on Friday. That's always nice. And some telephoning got done. Hey, telephoning is behind by a whole quarter of a year, I believe. Ordinarily in a day, I do 50 telephone calls. And if I keep up with it, I can get it down to 30 calls a day. But when it piles up like this, 100 calls in a day is not going to do it. March the 3rd, Saturday, started out just fine at 6:20 a.m. and putting Penny out. She likes to go out the first thing in the morning, no matter what. And getting washed and dressed and taking Rusty to the corner, and the cops were at the corner. I don't know what they were doing. And Raji is moving along very, very well. It's very thorough paper, and it's on removal and how, as usual, Goldberger, Assistant U.S. Attorney, breaks all the laws and puts out sloppy kid papers, kindergarten papers. And we're up to making the address list for Raji and the exhibits, which are newspaper clippings showing that all of the people who were sued in Glendora versus Lemley, John C. Malone, they lost their companies, but I'll read that to you. The people who get sued do not get the proper punishment in court because the courts are crooked and bought by the people who are sued. But the people who are sued always get it in the end. Good always wins in the end. They either lose their jobs or they lose their companies. Sometimes they lose the wonderful lives that God gave them, which they abused. Franklin got up on his own sua sponte at 9:18 p.m. He slept almost 12 hours. And Franklin printed the pullouts for the, see, this is a case, Glendora versus Lemley, it was filed in the Supreme Court of Nassau County, state of New York, but it was robbed by crooked things that the feds do. They robbed cases from state courts. If a federal person is in a court that's filed in state court, they immediately go up and rob the case and bring the case into the federal court where they can take care of their buddies. That's a crooked thing, removal. And it's Title 18, excuse me, it's Title, it should be Title 18 criminal. It's Title 28, U.S. Code 1441 to 1449. A very, very evil thing, removal of a case. They just go into state court, just like Hitler, just like KBG, and rob the case and take it to federal court. And the state court says, huh? That's it. So this case should be remanded to state court where it belongs. So you see, so busy on these legal papers, I didn't have time to videotape and report the things to you as they happen. That's always better. But by 8:27 p.m., all of these great papers, all of these legal papers, were done. You know how to do them, don't you? You work a half an hour a day on each one. First of all, you keep a log when the paper came in, and then the next day you sit down for a half an hour and start working on the paper, which seems to be an impossible Herculean task. But you work a half an hour on it a day, and pretty soon you whittle it down, whittle it down, whittle it down, and pretty soon it's done. You compart it, and that's what my mother taught me. That's how she used to do her spring house cleaning. It's time to start spring house cleaning, isn't it? Ah! But by 8:27 p.m. on Friday, March the 2nd, the legal papers were done. And Franklin wanted to go to White Plains and pick up the in-checks, but he decided to stay here and print the papers. A log. Now this isn't a log you keep for a legal paper. This is a log you keep of your life. Life is such a wonderful thing, I just can't seem to let it go by without accounting for it. By the hour, and by the number of jobs, and by the day, and by the date. And then Franklin printed the master for Raji, and Glendora did the envelopes, and the affirmation of service, and we finished Raji, and at that point it had taken 31 1/4 hours to finish Glendora versus Lemley, Raji, Dolan in the Brooklyn Court, Eastern District of New York. 31 1/4 hours it had taken, and it had cost in postage and printing and travel to serve it $79.68. It would have cost. Boy, that's the future imperfect. By the time it would have been served, it would have cost $79.68, including travel, postage, and printing. And Franklin printed it all on this machine. This is a great machine. This is a Canon 330. And it was Opus 539. And it was done at 1:30 p.m. Applause, 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 applause. And that was on Saturday, March the 3rd. And the chores were not done that day until 3 p.m. They should be done by 7 a.m. And then Franklin and Glendora did the bookkeeping. What money came in, how it was spent, and how much was spent. That's the diary. You keep that by the day. And then by the week you add up how much was spent that week. And then you take each item and put it in the columns at the end of the month, like postage, telephone, printing, gasoline, electricity, the business expenses, and the personal expenses. And you keep track of that. And at the end of the month you add up each column. And then the figures that you add up in each column are supposed to check exactly with the figures that you added up for the end of the week. Well, this week they didn't, or this month they didn't. In January it was $2 off, and this month it was $8 off. And legal paper number 3 is Dolan. Legal paper number 2 is a public file every day. Keep Dolan from, see what cheating Dolan is doing there. And let me tell you, the least access list, the people who inquired about least access, that list is just as phony as the shareholders list. Franklin paid MCI. That was $90.